Let's get to Bobby. Candy, kids, Mars Wrigley, the big candy company, forced to change the Skittles recipe after the RFK Jr. MAHA report links ingredients to cancer risks. By the way, I've always thought Skittles completely overrated. Never a huge fan, and I love fruit flavored candy more than I do chocolate. Skittles, though, overrated. Always prefer to Starburst. That's neither here nor there. One of the most popular candies in the country has quietly had its recipe reformulated after a blistering new health report. This is courtesy of the Daily Mail, chaired by U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr., linked one of its ingredients to DNA damage and possible cancer risk. Mars Wrigley, the global confectionery giant behind Skittles, has confirmed that it has removed titanium dioxide from its rainbow-colored candies in the United States. They say the following: our commitment to, I always love these commitments to health and quality after the fact, after all of these years. It's like they got their spot blown up and they're like, you know what? We just want you to enjoy healthy, happy candy. Put a smile on that face. You might get cavities, but you won't have titanium dioxide in your body anymore. So they say our commitment to quality is what has enabled Mars to be enjoyed by consumers for over a century, and nothing is more important than the safety of our products. The Mars Wrigley said in a statement, all of our products are safe to enjoy, and they meet the high standards and applicable regulations set by food and safety authorities around the world. And that's something we will never compromise on. Titanium dioxide, widely used. It's really amazing when you actually take the time to learn about this or you stumble across these stories, what actually goes into our food that we eat, that we enjoy because it looks appealing and then it tastes even better. Titanium dioxide, widely used in processed foods to give a bright appearance, but it has increasingly come under fire for what experts warn may be genotoxic and carcinogenic properties. The change comes in the wake of a bombshell report from the MAHA Commission led by RFK Jr. And we talked about this. I mentioned this on Monday's show because we were out on Friday. This came out late on Thursday last week. And I threw out the question. I think it's worth bringing back up again with Elon Musk leaving Doge after 130 days and the resistance. Now, they're both facing resistance, right? But Bobby's got his own detractors, his own resistance. Same thing with Elon Musk. But this is, and I get it, it's one food company. It's one specific candy we're talking about here. But you start to stack them up. I think Bobby Kennedy's having more success than I thought he would have. With all these lobbyists, with all of big food, big ag, big pharma, I mean, from the removing of the recommendation for the COVID shot for kids and pregnant women, leaving it out there for obviously those 65 plus, those with comorbidities, beef tallow, fryers, seed oils, different dyes, different colors, titanium dioxide. Are we a little surprised that Bobby is maybe picking off small little incremental victories here and there more than we thought he'd be capable of?
I'm not.
No? Knowing how hard it is to take on these big institutions, Pfizer, Mars, Pepsi-Cola, Frito-Lay, all these fast food chains.
What's the timeline on it? I'm just curious. What's the timeline on Mars Wrigley to change the ingredients? Does it say?
Yes.
Okay. What does it say?
It's not. They don't have to remove it for years to come.
Thank
a
you.
lot of these
For
a lot of
years
these
to
laws-
come?
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the whole thing with this.
Sure.
but-
Well, yeah.
Are you gonna buy-
Sure, we'll remove it. Yeah. Okay.
So, are you going to buy? And by the way, here's the sin of all of this: different soups, Campbell's soup, like chunky soup. The old El Paso, like the queso sauce, all those sauces, different macaroni and cheese that's prepared, baked goods like to make them soft and preserve, keep them preserved. There's so many items with this titanium dioxide, these nanoparticles. There are a ton of foods, and this is an old story. So that's why I say I'm not surprised with
What's an old story?
this story of titanium dioxide and these kinds of chemicals in our foods, which other countries around the world do not. I mean, I'm involved. Like, I get all these newsletters from all these different health groups.
So Mars is lying then about the recent discovery of titanium. So this is well known.
Not. These allegations have been going on for a very long time. The studies have been out there about things like titanium dioxide. It's the tip of the iceberg. And this is one huge company, a conglomerate, that's being proactive because they know that all of this is about to be found out because now this administration is funding all of these studies.
Well, here are the dates. The FDA recently ordered Red 3 must be removed from foods sold in the U.S. by 2027. It's only a year and a half from now. I mean, it's
a little bit.
It's June of 2025 already. So
You're developing child. Yeah, it's a year and a half. You know what I mean? Your kid's 3 or 4, so.
How far out do you think they manufacture this garbage?
Oh, years.
That's just it.
Okay.
Years out.
Then it's not MAHA's fault or Bobby's fault, right?
No.
Like if Mars has manufactured enough Skittles right now to supply vendors for the next 18 months and they don't have to produce any more, I mean, the only, I guess, way to end it right now would be to yank it from the shelf.
The only thing you can do, what would be the smart thing is these food companies should realize the trend that's happening now, and more people are looking at ingredients and seeing what's in things. So it would be smart, it would behoove Skittles and their parent company to say, hey, you know what? We can sell more, actually, if we say that these are better for you. These are good for you. No artificial whatever, no titanium whatever in this.
Yeah.
And people will, buy them for their kids because they're almost healthy.
Not sure I like titanium in my body unless I'm having some sort of joint replacement.
Yeah.
And the replacement is made of titanium.
It's the public. This works for everything. Look what stopped smoking. What led to like warning labels, regulations? None of that worked to stop smoking. What worked to stop smoking was people just started shaming people that smoked. Like, this is bad for you.
So you like this, but you realize it's going to take maybe half a generation.
If they wait for the government to like mandate it, yes. But I think more corporations are realizing the trends that are happening right now with the parents looking at ingredients in foods and saying, "Hey, let's jump on this train because it's probably profitable for us."
By the way, this ingredient in the European Food Safety Authority, and this is to my point about other countries, they banned this titanium dioxide and other ingredients like this years ago.
Yeah.
Because these little nanoparticles actually cause DNA damage, and it's one way chemicals cause cancer, other health problems. I'll get personal for a moment, and I don't want you to get emotional. But Nick, you and your wife were just in the hospital with a little girl in pain with kidney stones.
Mm-hmm.
I have no doubt that all of these kinds of chemicals in our foods, and I look at the list, original, like Wegmans. You go to Wegmans, you think, oh, it's higher, like upscale, right?
Mm-hmm.
They put titanium dioxide in their different prepared food, like their mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Campbell's Healthy Request, different soups, like the corn chowder, which is really good. Yeah, it's in there too.
Yeah.
You have, what are other ones? The Marzetti brands, they use it. It's a color agent. So they use it to brighten their cream cheese fruit dips, things like that. Some dairy products, fat-free products use this.
Yep.
So when you think, oh, it's fat-free, I'm on a diet, I'm going to get that, it oftentimes will have this titanium dioxide.
Mm-hmm.
So 1,800 brand name food products have this, and many of those food products, you look at them and they're advertised as healthy.
Right. Well, to your point, we just fall for it because we're lazy. We see high in protein, low in fat, low carb.
Protein's the new kick now too. Everything is here's a popcorn that is high in protein. Here's a bar that's high in protein.
It's got 800 grams of salt.
That's what I'm saying.
Of it.
These companies need to if they're smart, and a lot of them see trends like this, they'll start removing these things on their own so they can put on the package, we just removed X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? So public shaming, more than anything, works for these companies because
it's a good point. I'm going to stick around after shows moving forward. I'm just going to walk the halls and wait for people to go to the vending machine or the Odyssey kitchen. And when they grab something that's not good for them, I'm going to shame them.
You should.
Yeah,
and you can't go to HR because I care about your long-term health.
Hugh Douglas, I dare you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, he's the biggest
always-
violator. He's always grabbing the tasty cakes.
Why don't you shame Hugh Douglas?
No, the
That's a
taste-
great idea.
Yeah, go for it.
Who can I go longer with in a duel? Marjorie Taylor Greene or Big Hugh? Probably Marjorie.
Now, here's the thing. You mentioned Tasty Cakes because Tasty Cakes are not in the vending machine.
No.
They're over by WIP. Tasty Cakes, I don't think they have a lot of these ingredients because, think about it, they expire pretty quickly. So one of the things is,
Right.
and that's one of the reasons they're not national, because they actually don't use all these nasty preservatives.
They are super fresh when you
Well,
get them. I'll tell you- I'll tell you that much.
Z Vander on the YouTube chat just says, Dawn, as you're talking about titanium dioxide,
Yeah.
I'm eating a tasty cake French apple pie. Flip it over, titanium dioxide. So there you go.
Really? It
There you go.
does.
Somebody with a real world
OMG.
experience.
Mm.
There we go.
See, I wouldn't have again because I
Sorry,
always
Tasty Cake.
think of them because they expire with.
So much for us getting a little
I
shelf
was
down
just
here
gonna
with
say,
some
sales-
candy cakes.
No.
Sales right now is like, shut up, stalker,
Trust
shut
me,
up.
the last thing I need with my diet is a display case of freebies. Be
By
down
the-
there every break.
By the way, in Europe, a lot of and all of these different health groups for years have said aspartame. All of these, I can't even pronounce them all. The sucralose, all that synthetic food dyes, yellow 5, red 3. They've been saying this for the past, I will say, 20 years.
Yep.
They've been saying this stuff is not good for you. It's
Yep.
bad for you. Don't consume it.
Yep.
And that's why the rest of the world, and you were talking about smoking, you guys. Go to Europe. Go around the world. They're all smoking. They drink
Yep.
daily. They eat a lot. They're not dying like we are.
Yep.
The chemicals in our foods, I would submit to you, are probably worse than the smoking.
Here's some of the other ones real quickly with the dates when they have to be out of products. So these are all 2028. Red 40, which includes Doritos, Skittle, and Pepsi. Yellow 5, also on the chopping block, which is linked with Doritos, juices, and cookies. Yellow 6, which is in sugary breakfast cereals like Lucky Charms. Blue 1, which is in sweets like gummy bears. Blue 2, which is in sports drinks, presumably like the Gatorades. Green 3 is found in salad dressings, which is interesting. I always feel like, too, that's the other thing with this, getting deceived to think you're eating. I had a salad for dinner today. Oh, yeah, what was in it? Shredded cheese, ranch dressing, croutons. All bad for you, right?
Yep.
Just go with the vegetables. Just go with an oil and vinegar.
Put a little piece of chicken in it, too.
Yes, and put a protein in there,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
And as your news person, I'll just sprinkle in. So all the studies for at least 4 years that I can see, just in a latest study, the health concerns in the ingredients you just mentioned, Nick Kale, neurological as well as behavioral. So we talk about things like quote unquote ADHD, those because these mess with your system as far as your brain function.
Yep. 8